Hi guys, welcome to Origin. I recently did a video about fan worship. This is carrying on from the idea of a fan, because there's one thing I really should have mentioned in that video. But I think this one deserves a video of its own because it's a topic in and of itself. It's when fans, I'll actually use this, fans defect instantly at the first sign of any mistake by one band. And you remember how I showed all those Metallica albums in that video? Well, Metallica's probably the best example of this. On Ride the Lightning, when they released the song Fade to Black, they'd released one album before that, 8 songs. Not nearly enough to develop any idea of the band's style. You know, maybe for that one album you can think, well, they're going to keep doing this for a while. But Metallica didn't do that. They changed their sound in pretty much every album, but slightly up until the Black Album, and then that's for later on in the video. That's when it gets really interesting. But Fade to Black was seen as a sellout song because of its ballady, slower sound. And, Metallica's a thrash metal band. They play as fast as they can, as loud as they can. So fans were taken aback by Fade to Black, but since then it's become a fan favourite, so that's okay. Cliff Burton died in 1986 and they replaced him with Jason Newsted. And, the Master of Puppets and Justice for All weren't too much of a big problem. They seem to go down pretty much okay. So, everything's cool up until this point, right? The Black Album. 1991. Metallica released the Black Album. It's nowhere close to the same kind of sound as before. It's not thrash metal anymore, it's more kind of hard rock. It could loosely be called metal, I suppose, and there's still remnants of the style in there, but it's just completely different. Now, I can understand, thrash metal fans, really devout thrash metal fans who don't care about any other style. I can understand them being a bit, very taken aback by this. But basically, the backlash from that rings true even today. It's resonated throughout the whole of the 18 years since then. People still don't forgive them for that. People aren't even willing to take them back now that they've released Death Magnetic, which returns to the old style, and people are even complaining about that, but that's for even further on in the video. So we've got people defecting. As soon as they change their style, they don't even give the new style a chance. They just go, nope, I'm having none of this, despite the fact that Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, Wherever I May Roam, all the songs on there that just went absolutely massive. And guess what? No one cares. It's seen as a bad album by the old fans. I think I certainly don't think it's my favourite album. My favourite album's Master of Puppets, because my favourite song's Master of Puppets. My all-time favourite song, in fact. But yeah, so let's go on. Load and Reload. Again, different sound. It's a kind of bluesy, rock style, very American sound to it. And I quite like those albums, but people really thought those albums sucked. That's fine. I mean, it's a massive change. But we go further on to 2000, 2001. The Metallica Napster controversy. I've mentioned this before in a video. Metallica sued Napster, first of all because they discovered that their unfinished song, I Disappear, was being given radio airplay, and it was all because of Napster. They then discovered their entire discography was available for free, and they sued them. Now this went down very badly among fans, because they said in the past that they pretty much encouraged bootlegging. They had a section where people would just, go out and videotape the whole concerts. And then you could just pass around the bootlegs. So people were taken aback by Metallica Napster. That's fine, you know. Well, did I just say it's fine? Well, kind of, yeah. It's not fine, basically. Bootlegging is not the same as downloading music for free off of Napster. You get the real thing, the real recording, but, you know, like I said, these concerts, they're almost, well, not all of them are going to be taped, not all of them are going to be recorded, so why not do it yourself, you know, it's not really the same thing, is it? It's not even close. And Metallica specifically said it was about control, had nothing to do with money. They just wanted control over what happens to their own music. By all means, give it away for free, but let us do it. Let us decide to do it. Not some of our fans, basically. So yeah. Fans were absolutely outraged by this. I saw some interviews where some of the fans were actually saying that they were going to burn their Metallica merchandise. Really, let me ask you this. If Metallica do something like that, does the sound of their music change? You know, does it retroactively just warp all their previous albums into this completely different sound so that you no longer want to listen to them? No, it's the same old music. You're gonna, if you liked it before, you're gonna listen to it again. You know, it's just stupid defiance for no reason. You know, then we've got Saint Anger. That was a massive disappointment to pretty much everyone. Even I agree on that, you know. I would definitely say that was their worst album. But then in 2008 they came back with Death Magnetic. Back to the thrash metal sounds, back to their roots. Problem with that, distortion on the album. So, yeah, when I listen to it on my iPod, it's very noticeable and it's a bit of a pain. But, you know, that wasn't the problem that quite a lot of people seem to have. They seem to, you know, claim that they were copying off of their old stuff. I mean, that's as bad as saying that, like, any of the 4 good or great albums is copying off of the one before it. That's exactly the same kind of thing. It's pathetic, you know. It's basically this fans just defecting at the first sign of trouble. The first sign of anything going wrong, no second chances, we're gone. Metallica get new fans just because people always seem to like their music. They're lucky to have survived this long, despite all their controversies. Well, in spite of all their controversies. So yeah, if you're going to become a fan of a band, be somewhat loyal. If you really must become a fan, have some level of loyalty if you're going to be as abusive and stuff like I said in my previous video. Otherwise, you know, just don't do it, because it's just lose-lose. You're just making yourself a bad person in 2 respects in the eyes of everyone else. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for here. Goodbye.